Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with Moreau. He rides his motorbike to a fort in Eastern Europe, and sees a monk, and asks him if the child will be safe there. Moreau believes he will have to take the child away, since the people seeking the kid are extremely dangerous. As they speak, they are attacked by an armed group of people, who begin shooting everyone in their path. Moreau shoots at them, and this is when we see the kid. His name is Danny, and he is the devil's son. Nadia, the boy's mother, can also be seen there. In the midst of the attack, both mother and son attempt to flee. The thugs continue to pursue them, commanded by a man named Kerrigan. Moreau is driven off a cliff, shooting the mercenaries' tires, slowing their pursuit of Danny and Nadia. He survives thanks to a tree that stops his fall. After the son and mother have been saved, enter Johnny Blaze. Johnny has not been a ghostwriter for the last 8 years. After releasing the mother and son, Moreau proceeds to Johnny's house. He tells him everything, but Johnny doesn't believe him, and attacks him anyway. He inquires about his identity and the purpose of his visit. Moreau informs him he is well aware who Johnny is, and that he requires his assistance. When Johnny asks why he would help him, Moreau explains he is aware that he possesses the soul of a ghost rider in his body, and that he wants to rid himself of it. He makes him a proposal. He offers to help him get rid of the ghost rider inside his body if he is willing to help. Moreau claims he only needs to do a basic task. There is a child whose life is in danger. The child is on the run, and deadly people are on the lookout for him. He assures Johnny if he can save the boy's life, he will be able to help him reclaim his own soul, the one that truly belongs to Johnny Blaze. Johnny accepts. Moving on to Nadia and Danny, who turn to thievery to survive. Kerrigan and his men, however, follow them again at night. They intend to apprehend both of them, and deliver them to the devil. Johnny Blaze, on the other hand, has transformed into his Ghost Rider form, and is ready to begin his mission. The Ghost Riders can smell evil. Johnny arrives at the location where Nadia and her son are set to be shot by Kerrigan. The Ghost Rider appears and immediately assaults the thugs around them. Kerrigan tries to fight back, shooting him with his guns, but he is unsuccessful. He notices that the beast in front of him is unbeatable, and sneaks out of there. Meanwhile, a drop of Danny's blood falls to the ground, and the Ghost Rider begins to lose his abilities. Kerrigan returns and assaults Johnny again as soon as he realizes this. At a hospital, Johnny awakens, where a nurse inquires about his condition and his bruises. He tries to avoid her queries, and as the nurse leaves, he gets to escape. He notices Nadia looking for a place to stay, and follows her. Shifting to Kerrigan, who now has Danny. He goes to find Rourke, the major antagonist as well as the thug's boss. Kerrigan informs him that he has the child, but Rourke must pay them twice the sum agreed upon earlier, as he had no idea he would be fighting a Ghost Rider. He tells Rourke that if he wants the boy, he must meet the demands. He also asks what he plans to do with the child. The man instructs him to include the child on the call. When the boy speaks to Rourke, he says only one word, before collapsing with a loud yell. Kerrigan is taken aback by this. He questions what he has just done, and Rourke tells him that he has set a lock on this kid's body, adding that the Ghost Rider would not be able to find him anymore, and adds that the Ghost Rider can probably locate Kerrigan, so he'll have to be on guard at all times, and maximize his security. Rourke assures him that he will be there as soon as possible to get the child. Johnny, elsewhere, approaches Nadia and inquires why she is fleeing him. He tells her he saw her last night, and asks where the child is. She proceeds to tell the man the entire story, and explains Kerrigan has been following them for a long time. Actually, he is her ex-boyfriend, and they used to live together. He was extremely wealthy, with firearms, cars, and a large sum of money. She claims she needed all of these things and consented to live with him. Johnny asks her whether Danny is truly her son, and she responds that the boy is hers, but Kerrigan is not the father. Rourke is the child's father. Kerrigan makes his way to his friends, who are closely guarded and equipped with heavy weapons. Meanwhile, Nadia and Johnny track down a man who knows a lot about Kerrigan. When they speak with him, he reveals Kerrigan has taken the youngster to a building that is still under construction. As he tortures the man for information, he transforms into Ghost Rider, but he controls his body, because if he fully transforms into Ghost Rider, he will be disclosed to everyone, and could be hazardous to Nadia. After obtaining the necessary information from the man, he proceeds to the spot where Kerrigan is now hiding. The criminal also learns that the Ghost Rider is on his way, and prepares to fight, gathering an army of his troops and a rocket launcher, in the hopes of defeating Johnny. When the Rider appears, a battle ensues, and Nadia frees Danny. The Rider dispatches the mercenaries and defeats Kerrigan. As Nadia and Danny flee, the rider pursues them and attempts to murder Nadia. The next morning, the three of them are eating breakfast in a restaurant, when Johnny tries to chat with the child, but the boy does not appear to be interested in communicating. Rourke approaches Kerrigan, who dies in his presence. But Rourke resurrects him, as Blackout, a monster who can turn a person's environment pitch dark, and rot anything he touches. Rourke was injured owing to his weak state on Earth, so he dispatches Blackout to capture Danny. Rourke's body is becoming weaker by the day, and in order to restore its strength, he requires a body that was born with his own. Danny is his son, the product of his ancestors. So he wants to perform a ceremony on the youngster in order to convert his body into his, restoring his youth and strength. Johnny, Danny and Nadia make their way to the old fort. This is Eastern Europe, and the fort is quite old. The residents of the fort live exactly as their forefathers did, with no connection to the world's advancements, not even electricity, and utilize the sun and the moon for lighting. They come across Moreau and his old monk. It turns out these are the folks who charged Moreau with rescuing and transporting the boy to the fort. Before the exorcism, the monks present, including Methodius, secure Danny's safety. Moreau explains to Johnny that the rider was formerly the angel of justice Zarathos, but was duped into descending to hell, and became insane as a result. Keeping his sense of justice, Zarathos evolved into a spirit of vengeance, a creature that delighted in punishing the wicked, regardless of their misdeeds, yet Johnny wonders if Angel's loving spirit still survives. When Johnny is successfully exorcised, Methodius exposes his betrayal, and plans to kill Danny to keep the devil from taking over his body and gaining greater power. As Danny is ready to be executed, Johnny, Moreau and Nadia are imprisoned. However, Blackout appears, and kills Methodius, prompting the monks to return Danny to Rourke. Nadia is saddened by this, but Johnny resolves to save Danny, despite his powers being revoked. She informs him she is aware of where they must have taken the boy. Moreau states they will have to fight a lot of people now, so they arm themselves with the most lethal weapons. At night, Rourke begins the ritual to recharge his powers, and make his body as strong as it has ever been. Moreau, Nadia and Johnny arrive as the story progresses. As they enter, they discover numerous bottles of antique wine. One of the bottles dates back over 2,000 years. Moreau drinks it, and Johnny asks him if it's really a smart idea to get drunk before an important war. Moreau tells him it's excellent and proceeds. He prays to God for forgiveness for the sins he is about to commit, but he has no other option. The battle begins. Rourke confronts Johnny, but Johnny is far too powerful for him. Rourke may be familiar with magic from several ceremonies, but his body is too frail to battle. He collapses when Johnny lands a punch on him. Johnny tries to save Danny, yelling at him to get out of there, but the boy does not listen, since the rituals have begun to affect him, and he appears to be clueless to what is going on around him. When the child eventually gets up, he attacks Johnny. He is reminded of a time when the Ghost Rider protected him as he was attacked. When he realizes Johnny is no longer a Ghost Rider, he grants him all of the Ghost Rider's abilities. And Johnny becomes a Ghost Rider once again. Kerrigan appears as they attempt to flee with Danny, and a fight ensues. Kerrigan defeats Moreau during the fight. He also tries to halt the Ghost Rider, and in the meantime, Rourke seizes the opportunity. He grabs Danny and flees and drives away, but the Ghost Rider on his ghost bike pursues him. Kerrigan is following Ghost Rider and doing everything to stop him. However, it does not work out since the Ghost Rider grows tired of him. He charges at him with all his might, and finishes him off. He now has his flaming chain in hand, attempting to halt the van, while Rourke is attempting to carry Danny away. As Rourke drives on, he accelerates as fast as he can, in an attempt to overtake Ghost Rider, but his car collides with a large boulder, and they overturn on the road. The Ghost Rider approaches them and immediately drags the devil out of the car. According to the rider, Rourke has done enough evil on Earth. The devil only belongs in hell, and he must be sent there immediately. The devil declares that Johnny is the worst deal he has ever made. The rider then throws Rourke back to hell, smashing him into the earth's scorching depths. Nadia catches up to the rider, who is removing Danny's lifeless body from the wreckage. She is heartbroken when she sees him approaching with the boy's body. She says they tried everything they could to save the child, but it appears that it was not to be. The rider is likewise upset by this, and it is at this point he recalls what Moreau told him, when he was attempting to rid himself of his powers and return to normalcy. He informs her the real Ghost Rider was dispatched to bring justice to the people of Earth. He was not assigned to battle evil powers, but as time passed, he evolved, and he began fighting only with those who propagated evil, not caring whether justice prevailed or not, for a long time. He has been more concerned with punishing the evil guys than helping the innocent. Going back in time, Johnny claims to have felt the angel of justice reawaken within him once, and uses the angel's blue flames to restore Danny. When the boy finally awakens, both Johnny and Nadia breathe a sigh of relief. Johnny has completed his task. The Ghost Rider's yellow flames transform into the holy blue flames now, as Johnny rides away, proclaiming he is the Ghost Rider, and possesses both the power to bring justice and the ability to battle evil. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.